Andrew, are you there? Okay, we are going to start now. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Pay homage to the Blessed One. Dear friends, today I would like to give Dhamma talk from Connected Discourse, Sanyutta Nikaya, Sutta number 10. A bhikkhu named Elder. A bhikkhu named Elder. Vincent, do you have the Sanyutta Nikaya?
No, I don't. I
Oh,
still
you don't have? Oh.
No, I have to get it. Yeah.
Why didn't you tell me? So, okay, next time I'll I take the picture and send to you, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so in this sutta, this is very simple actually. This is not so long. So let me read the sutta and then we will give some comment. On one occasion, the Blessed One was dwelling at Rajagaha in the bamboo grove. The squirrel sensorily. The squirrel sensorily. Now on that occasions, a certain bhikkhu named Elder was a lone dweller and spoke in praise of dwelling alone. He entered a village for alms alone. He returned alone. He sat alone in private. He undertook walking meditation alone. That means, that monk, all the time he want to stay alone, all the time. You know, when any people, when they respectfully get the ordinations, they want to live the houseful life. And they think that, I want to become a Buddhist monk, just want to stay alone, just meditate, meditate, meditate. They want to be too disciplined, even though they don't understand Buddhism, but still they want to be disciplined, very strict. So sometimes with the understanding, if you observe the discipline rule very strictly, also very dangerous. Because I asked the Bhante Bhikkhu Buddhi, okay, there are some monks who observe very strict discipline rule. What do you think? Okay, the Buddha said not to touch money. So how can we avoid that? Do you know what he told me? Bhante Bhikkhu Buddhi said that, okay, you should go to the forest, take the alms bowl, and sit under the tree, practice meditation, leave me alone. Don't talk with anyone. So whenever you need the food, just to go to the village to collect the food and then come back again, take the lunch and meditate again. So that way you don't need the money, right? So you can escape from there. But if you live in the city, with a touch of money, how can you live that? You don't have attendance. Like Bhante Vimalaramsi was the attendance of Bhante Sayadaw Silananda, right? So Sayadaw Silananda was very lucky because he got the attendance Bhante Vimalaramsi. Right? We don't have the attendance anyone here in New York City. Nobody come at my temple and take care of me. But anyway, so we have to take care of ourselves. So the monk who really want to want to be new ordained monk, so they try to be very strict and just leave me alone. So when I was in Burma, one Chinese monk he is American scientist actually. So he went to Burma for practicing meditations, and later on he took the admissions at my university where I studied. And that monk, he was very strict. He doesn't talk with anyone, you know. He studied as well as also he practiced meditation at his cabin. He always said, "Okay, leave me alone. Hello, Bante, how are you? I am fine. I am fine." You know. So just and he replied, "How are you? Okay, I am also fine." Like that. But they don't want to talk too much with any others, with anyone. So the same thing, this monk is very disciplined. He has tried to go for arms round alone, come back alone, meditate alone, you know. So what is Buddha is going to talk about? Buddha is going to give him the right direction. So without understanding Dhamma, if you just, okay, I want to meditate, I am meditating now, I am practicing walking meditation now, I am practicing sitting meditation now. So that way, you don't know anything. You at least you need someone to guide you. All right. Otherwise, how can you progress it? And you don't know how you are practicing meditation. Just if you just, okay, this is silent meditation. I am practicing silent meditation. I heard from some people, when I went to Manhattan for teaching meditation, some of them told me that, well, I am practicing silent meditation, silent meditation. But the Buddha here explained to him, when you stay alone, when you go for the arms round alone, when you come back alone, and when you take lunch alone, what do you have to do? So here they will explain. Then a number of bhikkhus approached the Blessed One, paid homage to him, sat down to one side, and said to him, "Here, Venerable Sir, there is a certain monk named Elder, who is a lone dweller, and who speaks in praise of a dwelling alone." Then the Blessed One addressed a certain bhikkhu thus: "Come, bhikkhu, tell the bhikkhu elder in my name that the teacher calls him." So, one monk went to the Buddha. He told me, well, there's one monk. He always try to stay alone. And Buddha said, okay, please go to him. Tell him that I'm calling him. And that monk said, yes, friend, the venerable elder replied, and he approached the Blessed One, paid homage to him, and sat down to one side. The Blessed One then said to him, is it true? Now the Buddha is going to ask him, is it true, elder, that you are a lone dweller? Speak in praise of a dwelling alone? Yes, venerable sir. So that monk said, yes, I am staying alone. This is right. But how, elder, are you a lone dweller? And how do you speak in praise of dwelling alone? So Buddha is going to ask him, how do you practice? When you stay alone, what do you do? And now the Blessed One is going to, that monk is going to answer, here, Venerable Sir, I enter the village for alms alone. I returned alone. I sit alone in private. I undertake walking meditation alone. It is in just a way that I am alone, dwellers, and speak in praise of dwelling alone. So he answered like that. That means he's not talking about I stay alone, I try to overcome desire. I try to overcome craving. I try to abandon all negativity, all the unwholesome things from my mind. He doesn't say that, right? He said, I stay alone. I practice walking meditation alone. I go for arms round alone and come back alone. See, practice sitting meditation alone. He answered like that. Now Buddha is going to give the instruction to him. That is a way of dwelling alone, elder. I do not deny this. So whatever you are doing, I do not deny. That's fine. You see, that's why, if anyone practice meditation, we should not deny that. Just okay, that's fine. But whatever you did in the past, you did a great. But you can change, you can try to do another one also. Try to improve that one too. So whatever you practice long time, that one is excellent. But you try to do the new things also. And now Buddha is going to instruct him. He said that, but as to how dwelling alone is fulfilled in detail, listen to that and attend closely. I'll speak. I'll give the Dhamma talk to you now. So when you will stay alone, how will you how will you stay alone? What will you do that time, that moment? And how elder is dwelling alone fulfilled in detail? Here, elder, what lies in the past has been abandoned. What lies in the future has been relinquished, and desire and lust for present forms of individual existence has been thoroughly removed. That means when you are practicing alone, you have to determine that I am practicing meditation now to remove desire, to relinquish craving, right? To abandon all the wholesome things from my mind. So whatever any negativity will arise in my mind, unwholesome thought will arise in my mind, I know it, I understand it, just abandon it. Just remove it. Just relinquish it. So then it is it is in such a way, elder, that dwelling alone is fulfilled in detail. That is what the Blessed One said. Having said this, the fortunate one, the teacher, the father said this. So after saying that, at the end of the sutta, the Buddha said one clause. He said, the wise one, all conqueror, all knower, among all things unsolid, with all cast off, liberated in the distractions of craving. I call that person one who dwells alone. Very wonderful verse. He said that the wise one, all conqueror, all knower. What does it mean? James, could you answer that? The wise one, all conqueror, all knower. What Buddha is going to talk about here?
Dependent origination.
I asked Zim actually.
Oh. I thought you said Vin. Sorry, I thought you said Vinny. I'm sorry.
Okay, anyway.
Maybe I was wrong.
Yeah, okay, you answered the good. That's fine. No problem. So let's see. I have another question for the Zim. Among all things unsolid, with all cast off. So among all things unsolid, that means, you know, So one who see the all dependent originations. So someone cannot say he's bad and blah blah something, negative things. With all cost of everything, give up, everything, give up, abandoned, liberated the distraction of craving. That means no more craving in his mind. He's liberated. No greed, no hatred, no delusion in his mind. What does it mean craving, Jim, now? Jim?
Me? Oh,
Craving. Craving. This time you should not forget.
I know what craving is. I you asked it last week and I didn't know it, and oh,
You should not forget it this
I
time.
oh, I should know this. Uh,
Right?
what?
Do you remember?
Uh,
What is the meaning of the craving? I like it.
I like it. I don't like it.
Mine.
I here.
I like it.
I like it. I don't like it. And neutral. Yeah.
You have to
Right.
do the verbalization meditation. I like it, I don't like it, mine. I like it, I don't like it, mine. I like
Yes.
it, I don't like it, mine.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
So you see all the craving gone, abandoned, that monk. And then I call that person who dwells alone. I call him because one can liberate himself. No craving, no hatred, no delusion, you know, and he's living alone. I call him, I call that monk. So you just got the ordinations and you went to the forest, stay alone, and try to be far away from the people, but you still don't know what you are doing, right? This is like nonsense. But you have to know. I get ordinations to practice meditation, right? To overcome hatred, aversion, greed, delusion, ignorance, everything have to abandoned, abandoned, right? Removed from my mind. That way, I call that monk. He is the person who dwells alone. You see, that means even though if you stay alone, so if we know the teaching of the Buddha, how to practice meditations, just to read and listening and then practice. So that's where living alone, that's fine. You are the right track, right? You are the right track. So you are practicing the right way. So this is the what the Blessed One said. There is a small sutta, not so big. So do you have any question about this?
Um, does everyone? It's not really about the sutta, I guess, but does everyone experience the same thing? I mean,
What do you mean? What do you mean? Same things.
I mean, like, as you're going along through the practice, as you're progressing through the practice and going through the jhanas, does everybody experience same things or
No.
different things, or do they experience some same things and some different things, or is it all the same or all different, or is it a little bit of both?
No, the people is depend on the people. Like what you experience, maybe I cannot experience like you. I cannot see clearly like you. But what I can experience, maybe you cannot experience like me. Like I think yesterday, Andrew, when we were talking by phone, he said, this morning I sat for 2 hours. My meditation become very good. I felt really, really, really good in my meditations. Imagine, you know, this was sounds very good. Maybe you cannot, you didn't experience like him, or maybe Jim experienced another way, and I experienced another way. This depends on the people.
But
So
are some things the same? Like some things
yeah,
are.
instruction is the same. Instruction is the same. Like first jhana, second jhana, third jhana, fourth jhana. Instruction is the same. Teaching is the same, but the experience will be different.
But what about remember you were teaching us about the jhanas, about like the signs to look for in the jhanas. So like I don't know, it's very confusing.
What do you? Why are you confusing?
Well, I mean uh are some things the same for everyone, or like would there be similarities that me and other students will experience in the jhanas? Are there some similarities like at all, or is it always all different?
I think yeah, there are some, yeah, yeah, there are some similarity. You we can say that, but the experience will be is different. But some people experience will be the same, but some people experience will be not be the same. It's depend on the people, how people are practicing meditation, and how their mindfulness is sharp. You know.
Mindfulness is sharp, right?
Yeah.
Right, because
Some
it
people, don't they practice meditation? Oh, mind go here and there, and then these things remembering,
right.
that is remembering. They are so wondering, right?
But
And someone just sit down and calm down. Your mind is
Yeah,
just in the meditation moment. That can get very
yeah.
quickly.
Like for example, like in the fourth jhana, aren't we all supposed to like the like our internal dialogue that we have in our minds, the internal chatter? Isn't in the third jhana, isn't that supposed to stop?
No, no,
In the fourth jhana, isn't I thought like it's in one of the suttas it says that that's supposed to stop.
no. When you let in the fourth jhana, when you let in the base of neither perception nor non-perception, so you'll get the cessation there. So that one is called space. It's also, this is not the, there are only four jhana Buddha talk about. First
what about
jhana, second, yes.
what about equanimity in the fourth jhana? Now you experience, I experience, you experience it. We all experience the same thing. It's not pleasure, it's not joy, it's equanimity.
Yeah,
So
equanimity.
that's similar. That's like something that we should. If you don't experience equanimity, then you're not in the fourth jhana. Correct?
When, say again, I couldn't catch it.
One of the common things that we experience in the fourth jhana is equanimity. Okay, it's not like pleasure, bodily pleasure,
Yeah,
joyful. That's gone, and we experience this nice equanimity.
like, but that
We know
equanimity,
we're in the fourth jhana.
yeah, when you attain the fourth jhana, yes. But when you attain the base of nothingness, the base of nothingness, that stage, you will attain the equanimity, right? And that equanimity is very strong, and you'll got a lot of insight there. This is the difference.
Yeah. What is equanimity? Equanimity means very balanced mind.
Right. Your mind should be so balanced that moment.
So I have like for example, like remember one of our first few Dhamma talks, we were talking about the first four jhanas, and like remember the first jhana had five aspects. It was thinking and examining thought. right? You had thinking, examining thought, joy, happiness, whatever. And then second jhana didn't have thinking and examining thought. It only had joy and happiness and unification of mind, internal confidence, right? So I'm just thinking like the first jhana had thinking and examining thought. The second jhana doesn't have thinking and examining thought. So what is so so that means you're not thinking. That means in the second jhana you don't think anymore.
There's
No.
no words.
Now here one thing is thinking and examining thought. That means you it's called the unwholesome things. You know, when you meditate, thinking and examining thought means you are thinking all the time wholesome things. You know, you're thinking and examining thought, joy, happiness, and unification of mind. These are the wholesome things, wholesome dhamma. And the opposite, five hindrances, right? So thinking and examining thought, you think and you examine. This is the wholesome, right?
Okay.
This is the wholesome. And then that two things, two dhamma, two things will stop rising or rise. So that way you'll get joy, happiness, and unification of mind. Three things. And after that joy will stop rising, so you'll attain the third jhana, right? And happiness will stop rising, then you'll attain the fourth jhana. So that way, and then your feeling will go to the top of your head. So then you will be the advanced meditator.
All right. So the hindrances. So the big thing is that the hindrances aren't
Hindrances, right? The hindrances
are not
will,
there. That's what
rise. Yes, you are right.
So that's the big difference. That's what changes everything.
Right.
That's what
The
makes it different.
hindrances, that moment will not rise in your mind.
Right.
So only the five things will rise one by one. It will occur one by one.
Yeah.
So that way you are in the jhana. So you will understand yourself. Right?
Uh-huh. Okay.
You understand yourself. So this is the basic. Right?
All right.
Yeah, so when you practice more, you'll experience that you understand all those things. But you know, if someone don't practice meditations and just asking, that way it's very hard to understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really very tough. Yeah, so that's why such a teaching, such a sutta, I never teach to the people who never practice meditation because they will understand that.
Yeah.
So it just even you don't keep the precept and then you come Bhante, okay, can you tell me first jhana, second jhana, third jhana, fourth jhana, and then the base of the infinite space, the base of infinite consciousness, the base of nothingness, the base only the perception, non-perception, history mantra, once returner, non-returner, arahant. You know, some of my people, they said, okay, could you, how can I attain arahant? You see, jump. They jump from five precept to the arahant.
I wish it was that easy.
So how can you jump like that?
Yeah.
The first, you have to keep the precept. Second, you start meditating. And you attain first jhana and go through second, third, fourth, step by step. You cannot jump from the first jhana to the boom to the arahant. It's not like that. So that is why I never teach such a dhamma to the people who never practice meditation because they will not understand. They will not get any. They will not be interested. You know. Well, you were explaining. Actually your dhamma is very good. I really appreciate, but actually he doesn't understand it. So that's why whenever people invite me for giving talk, so I give for the dana, about the generosity. What is the benefit when you give the generosity? So I talk about that because they offer the food to me, they listen to chanting, you know, and then they offer some material things to the monks. Then I talk about concerning that. So that way, people, they love to hear a story.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of the people love to hear the story. So I just talk about that. But this is the meditation. Oh, you see, the lot of suttas Buddha talk about meditations. But the problem is we are not reading. We are not reading the suttas. We are not understanding. Even me, 14 years, I never read the suttas, 14 years. After approaching Bhante Bimalaramsi, I stayed with him about 4 months,
Hmm.
even though he has scolded me many times. Yeah, you are not following my instructions, I know. You are practicing too hard, I
Yeah.
know. And so, but eventually I listened to him and then practice meditations, you know. But anyway, so that's why I have now confidence. I learned a lot of things from him that I never learned before. That's why I really, really respect to him. He's really good teacher. And now he's also teaching on Zoom, I saw a few days ago.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw that on YouTube.
You
Yeah.
saw that, right?
Yep.
So he was in India. I think he came back. So after coming back, he's now teaching on Zoom. Really, I think a lot of, I think there's some students are joined with him.
Hey, why don't you call him? Why don't you get into his Zoom and ask him questions and aggravate him?
I don't know. I don't know when he's teaching. I think I have to write the. Yeah,
Oh,
you were right. You were right.
right.
Maybe I have to join one day and
Yeah,
I tell him,
Yeah.
Bhante, I have questions.
yeah.
Oh, that would be funny.
I I have 32 questions.
maybe maybe he will say, okay, Bhante Satyananda, I think you should not ask the question online, right?
He will put you on mute.
But anyway, so this is the good things. A lot of things learned from him, and then he also was very happy when he came here because he knows that in New York City only me I'm teaching the whatever he's teaching. So that's why whoever want to go to him from New York, he said, okay, there is another center. It's Brahma Vihara Meditation Center. You should go there.
Yeah.
You should not come far away from New York to here.
He wanted to know why I came to it.
Second,
He said, "What are you doing here?" to me, and I said, "Well, I heard you were going to be here."
I think I have to ask one day, David, when Bhante teach, could you send the link to me, please? I want to join too.
Sure, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we love to join with him, and then whatever I saw his teaching from Ajjimanikis long sutta, is because I didn't want to talk the long suttas, just a small sutta is enough, and then we can discuss about it, right? Q&A, that way is better. Only 30 minutes or 45 minutes, just sit for 5 minutes, it's better. Okay, so if no question, I think we should meditate for 5 minutes and then we'll share the merit. Okay. Okay. I'm going to. Okay, let's see. Okay, you should just share the image right now. I'm going to share the screen. Okay, let's share the image. May suffering once be suffering free, and the first track fearless be. May the grief shed all grief, and may all beings find relief. May all beings share this merit that we have thus acquired for the acquisition of all kinds of happiness. May beings inhabiting a space on earth, the hours and hours of mighty power share in this merit of ours. May the long protect the Buddha's dispensation. Uh, uh, Okay, see you everyone on Friday. Okay.
Right, thank you very much.
Okay. Have a good
Bye,
night,
everyone.
everyone. Okay.